Chicago police officers,
And I'm Sergeant Dwayne Betts, Community Policing.
residents from Chicago neighborhoods,
Is somebody on top of that situation?
meeting, talking, solving problems, working together. It's called a beat meeting.
Beat meetings are one of the most effective tools behind the success of CAPS. They give the police and the community an opportunity to communicate together and create action plans about issues that affect the quality of life in a neighborhood. What is the secret to a successful beat meeting? What should you bring with you to the table? Today, we examine the anatomy of a successful beat meeting. One of the most important keys to a successful beat meeting is open communication. That means both sides, the police and the community, need to share information about what's going on in the area. It has to be a two-way street, and it starts right from the beginning.
Here you go, ladies. Sign in, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Before a beat meeting starts, residents sign in. It's a time to break the ice and build rapport. In some beats, they issue raffle tickets for prizes to be awarded later. During this time, it's important for officers to interact with the residents. Remember, you're there for the community. They may feel more comfortable sharing information with you alone rather than speaking before the crowd.
Beat meetings are truly important. It's the one common denominator and one common thing that we can all do. We can all attend our beat meetings. Officers need to especially communicate with the community. The community, again, needs to communicate with the police officer. The sharing of the information is the most vital piece of this.
With liberty and justice for all.
Meetings are held in various locations, from school auditoriums to church basements to high-rise penthouses. Wherever the meeting is, it should start on a positive note. Get the community involved right away.
How many people have put the address on the back of their house, or their garage, their fence, their gate? How many? All of you got it?
A civilian volunteer facilitator works with police in conducting the meeting. In some cases, there may be co-facilitators. There is a welcome followed by an introduction of officers.
Officer Ross, Community Policing.
Well, the very beginning of the meeting, and it's even addressed on the agenda of the meeting, is open introductions. You'll go to a meeting where they'll just start the meeting. There's no introductions. Right away, that kind of sets a boundary. I don't know who I'm talking to. You don't know who you're talking to. It's very important to have the officers introduce themselves. Maybe what they do in the district, if it's not the beat officer coming to the meeting, the sergeant, maybe the watch commander might show up, should be introduced. And even more importantly, in my opinion, it's important for the community, if they feel comfortable, to introduce themselves.
You also need to think about the layout of the room. At this meeting, the use of a semicircle was good. However, having the officers sitting behind a table can create a barrier between the citizens and the officers.
Meetings are always more conducive when you have a more open environment. Sometimes if you have just natural division of officers behind a row of tables and the audience in chairs, like in an audience kind of thing in a auditorium, then sometimes that it doesn't really open it up for people to participate. People feel that it's an us and them type of environment.
In terms of the room arrangement, creating an open environment where people will feel free to participate. Another key is the agenda. Agendas are extremely important. They direct the flow of the meeting and keep it structured. Without an agenda, it can be hard for people to follow along. Some beats also come up with ground rules to run their meetings.
In some beats, you may find it more helpful when people know what are the expected roles in terms of codes of conduct that people need to follow.
The purpose of a beat meeting is problem solving. It should not become an individual gripe session. You need to emphasize that the meeting is an opportunity to identify chronic crime and disorder issues that affect many people on the beat and discuss ways to solve them together.
I think the key is letting people know right at the very outset what the purpose of the meetings is. Folks, this is not a meeting where we give verbal complaints. This is not a verbal 911 session. This is actually a meeting where we can exchange information and actually do something we call problem solving, and that is to work on problems that affect the most of us on this beat. What can we all do, the police, the community, and the city, to work together to address those problems?
When you attend a beat meeting, you should come as prepared as possible. Citizens want information. They want to know what's going on in their community, and most importantly, what's being done to address certain issues.
If anybody's got information, detectives are looking for a white Cadillac. It's got a loud muffler, four-door. It's somewhat damaged on the left side. We're also looking for a green van, which is also in question for shooting paintballs.
If you do not come prepared to a beat meeting, you're already in trouble with the community. You have to be able to go there and know what's happened on that beat for the last month at least. From beat meeting to beat meeting is always a good gauge to go by. With our systems now, with the CLEAR system, data warehouse, the tactical reports with mapping, you can literally find out everything that's happened on that beat and be prepared for it.
They can talk to review officers, they can talk to their fellow beat officers to find out what's going on the different tours, on the different watches that they don't know. But the key thing is to find the information, to be able to take and to be able to share. Each officer at the beat meeting should be able to share information.
At a meeting, not only is it important to address and identify new issues, but you should also report on previous problems and give a review on where they stand. Again, listen to the people. Just as important as it is to talk with the residents before the meeting, it's equally as important to stay after the meeting.
It's very important for officers to stick around after the meeting a little bit. You can have some definite good conversations with individuals, particularly ones that may not want to talk at the meeting openly about their concerns or about legitimate problems, or they don't want to know other people to know their business.
All right, the winning ticket ends in 653.
653.
At the end of this particular meeting, it's time for the raffles and giveaways. A lot of the beats use them to entice the community to attend. Before everyone leaves a successful beat meeting, the police and community need to be given assignments. Everyone should have participated in analyzing problems or concerns at the meeting and come up with ideas to fight them. Then they should all leave with a commitment to work on those issues and report back at the next meeting.
Would everybody in this room make me a promise that when you leave this meeting, you're going to tell somebody about the scam that's going on, people trying to get into your neighbors' homes?
Whether it's the police having to arrest people, foot patrol, write tickets, whatever it might be, whether it's the community actively doing a positive loitering mission, a march, whatever it might be that they have to do to combat the crime. That's what makes a beat meeting successful, is when everybody has an assignment and comes back and reports what they did, and then in that turn, evaluate what they've done, if it's been successful concerning that problem.
When you attend a beat meeting, remember, the key is open communication and being prepared. By working with the community, together we can fight chronic crime and disorder and improve the quality of life for everyone. Thank you for your attention.